Hey. Time for another out of this world story from our space. When we're in the thick of it, it can be hard to know when we're making the right decision. Today on our space, we have to just rip that band-aid off, no matter how much it hurts. Fiancé, 28 female, wants to break up with me, 30 male. Says she loves me, but doesn't like me. My fiancé and I have been dating for roughly 3.5 years, engaged for half a year. We fell for each other instantly, spent every waking hour with one another, living in the same metropolitan area. Honestly, some of the happiest days of my life. We figured since we spend so much time together, the next natural step would be to live together. We moved in together about 1.5 years into the relationship. That's when things started to go south. It's a starter home and the first time either of us have owned a home outside of renting. Thing is, it's in her name, since when I'm married. We split the down payment 50-50. We've been living together in her house just over 2 years now. Over the course of those 2 years, a lot of things have come to the surface. I've noticed that she has a very short temper and will freak out about the simplest of things. She is much more high-strung than I am, and I usually take things in and evaluate them calmly before resorting to yelling. Opposites attract, I suppose. She has also resorted to name-calling and belittling me over these 2 years, claiming I can't fix anything and I'm not handy. If we ever get into a fight, she says, "Leave my house," since it's in her name. Yet, we are all good the next day, and she apologizes. As of this year, and since I proposed, things have been pretty bad, to the point where she will break things when we fight, verbal only, and now she says that she still loves me, but doesn't like me, and wants to call the wedding off. 1.5 years away, so not coming up anytime soon. She wants us to move on with our lives since she sees us as incompatible. I love her more than anything, hence why I proposed. We've done a few rounds of couple counseling, but she wanted to pull out of that and pursue her own individual counseling instead. We originally agreed to do couples counseling to get a professional opinion on our relationship, but now that seems to be out the window. I feel betrayed. I feel like we invested so much time, energy, and money into one another that to not give this any more effort would be a disservice. I have no idea what I should do. We both love each other still, and I feel like a lot of her words and negative thoughts are spur-of-the-moment anger. I'm willing to delay or cancel the wedding entirely if that means we can work on each other. She keeps telling me, people don't change. Any thoughts or suggestions on her situation would be greatly appreciated. Edit. To be clear, since I am seeing a lot of posts on this, we have a written legal agreement that I will receive my fair portion of equity after the house is sold. It's honestly the least of my worries at this point. The real investment is my time, energy, and other monetary contributions that I have made toward this relationship that will now not see any return on investment. I am the breadwinner in this relationship, so she will definitely struggle to make ends meet without my income. She will probably sell the house pretty quickly after I leave. Update. I just want to say thanks for the support and feedback. Did not expect this kind of input, and it's great to get outside perspective. We've decided to take a 2-week break. No contact. I'm going to shack up at my buddy's place in the meantime. The goal will be for each of us to evaluate things during this time. Honestly, the only way I am willing to give this any kind of effort is to set strict guidelines on how each of us expects to be treated, along with couples counseling. I'm taking a perspective that it will not work out, so that is the worst-case scenario in my mind. We'll see. I'll be sure to follow up. Thanks again. Let's see some of the community reactions. Javanator999 says, "As painful as it is, the breakup sounds like the right answer. She sounds painful to live with, and abuse tends to escalate. For your sake, take the breakup. Take a bit of time to heal, and then find someone that treats you well." BuzzFeed Tiddler says, "She sounds like a lot of stress, dude. If I've learned one thing, it's that if someone wants to break it off, just let them. It's not worth fighting it, as even if you convince them this time, there will always be something else later." I feel like your feelings are valid, OP. I also think it seems pretty rash for her to suddenly say she doesn't like you anymore and wants to call off the wedding. I think a break will be good for you both. It will allow for some time to wrap your heads around exactly what you both want, to really answer some hard questions. Sometimes distance tells us all we need to know. Update. I've done everything I can to try and reconcile, and she still wants a divorce. We've been married 2 years, together 7 years. I, 33 male, caught her, 31 female, cheating 3 months ago. She claims she did it because she doesn't love me anymore. I was, and still am, shattered, since I'm deeply in love with her. I retaliated by sleeping with a couple women, instantly regretted it, and felt horrible. We tried to make it work for the last 2 months, working on becoming best friends again, creating new memories, went to Europe for 2 weeks. We were both in individual counseling, and I told her the only way this would work would be for us to work on rebuilding our trust and communication via marriage counseling. She does not want to try anymore and is not willing to attend marriage counseling. If I try to talk about other options like a short-term separation, she gets vehemently upset, saying she's trapped and asking why I want to be with someone who doesn't love me. At the end of the day, I just want to say I tried everything I could, that we tried everything we could, but I can't force her to do anything. So I'm just left sitting here feeling helpless and afraid that I will lose my best friend. I know I have to let her go for us both to be happy, but it's incredibly hard because I love her so much. I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her, have kids in her new house, grow old together. Now that's all fiction. We are being cordial and going to mediation route, selling the house prior to the divorce. I told her I'm done asking questions and trying to make it work. I just want us to look back at our last few months together positively, so we can enjoy other good memories from the entire relationship as well. I guess I'm just going on a rant prior to what will be a rough couple of months ahead. Any advice on how to conduct myself during this time around my wife and be myself in public would be appreciated. I want to be emotionally strong, and I'm tired of acting needy. When do I tell other people that aren't in my small circle of friends that already know? How long should I wait to start dating again? The big thing I'm struggling with is how much I will most likely hate her after this, and how we will cease to exist to one another. I really don't want her out of my life, but I think that is the only way I can move on and be healthy. Does anyone else struggle with this? Thanks in advance. Let's get a reaction from the community. A deleted user. She claims she did it because she didn't love me anymore. She doesn't love you anymore and doesn't want you in her life. This is real. You can't fight the truth. It's gone. You have to move on with your life and find yourself a new best friend. Well, I think you can tell people as soon as you want to, OP. It's not like you can really hide it. I mean, you're selling the house. On the other hand, you don't really have to go and tell people who aren't in your small circle. It might just be something that comes up eventually in conversation. If they happen to ask, tell them the truth. And you can start dating whenever you feel comfortable dating. People come and go from our lives, and people tend to pop into our lives when we least expect them to. Once you have had some time to heal, perhaps then someone might walk right into your life. Update. Can't stop asking her what she is doing or where she's going. See previous posts for history. The last 4 months have been hell. We tried to reconcile, but in the end, she realized that she does not have feelings for me anymore. We were still living together for a couple more weeks until she moves into an apartment in mid-October. There are days where I will 180 and try to gray rock her. Then she will act like her old self and ask me to hang out or do something with the dogs like we used to. I ask her if she wants to hang out most days, mainly because I just want to spend as much time as I can with her before we cease to exist to one another. I want us to be best friends again, but I know right now that is impossible. I still have so much anger and resentment towards her for being so selfish and blowing up both of our lives. Since reconciliation has ended, a little over a month ago, I have been an anxious wreck. I can't stop asking her what she's doing or where she's going when she leaves the house. She says she is not seeing anyone and hasn't slept with anyone post-affair, but I have no idea if that is true or not. She claims I'm stalking her and trying to control her. In reality, I'm just trying to make sure she is still respecting our remaining time together so that I can at least get a glimpse of that good person she once was. I know she's not the same person, but it's still to hold out hope, because she does show signs of her old self at times. Once she leaves, I'm going to go through absolute hell for weeks, if not months. My anxiety grows day by day, and I don't know how I'm going to function. Any advice from those of you who have been through a similar situation post-reconciliation while still cohabitating? Any advice on what to do once they leave the house for good prior to the divorce? I am in so much effing pain. Ask for advice, the community will respond. No Kaleidoscope 576 says, the relationship with my ex ended 3 months prior to my moving out. It was hard as hell. I was so afraid of being alone, emotionally, when we had 12 wonderful years together. I feel for you. That being said, it was hard as hell, but it was worth it. Sounds like a routine answer, but I started working out, walking, keeping busy, and discovered myself along the way. And that's the person I brought into my next relationship. Healed and ready for love. Mourn your loss and move along. You've got this. I think you're going to be just fine, OP. It's going to hurt like hell, but you're going to be just fine. A breakup like this is bound to be painful when you're still surrounded by your old life. It's like torturing yourself. You're trying to move on and heal, but your old life, quite literally, still haunts you. I think once she's gone and you both have your own lives, it's going to be much easier for you. Update. 2 weeks no contact. She moved out this weekend. I miss her and my dogs so much. I haven't seen or spoken to my soon-to-be ex-wife in 2 weeks. Longest time we've gone not speaking to each other since we started my relationship 7 years ago. We were living together up until these 2 weeks. The fights were getting worse and worse, and I just agreed to move out until she moved this past weekend. I know it would have been much harder for me to be there when she moved. That all being said, the last time I saw her in person, we got into a really bad fight. I feel like there was no closure, and now I feel like I'll never see her again. She has requested that all communication regarding the house sale go through our realtor, and all communication regarding a divorce go through our mediator. I just want to see her again and end on good terms, but I also don't want to come off as needy, begging, etc. I'm absolutely dreading going back to a relatively empty hole with just my stuff in it. I don't even think I can sleep there without wallowing in complete depression. I can't stop having the feeling that she is already with someone else, and it's eating me alive. I know I'll get past this, but I just miss her and my girls, dogs, so effing much. Update. Soon-to-be ex-wife claims I ruined her life, career, and any chance of us being friends. Soon-to-be ex-wife and I have been separated for 3 months. I've only seen each other once. We talk, text, email ever so often. Still splitting house expenses for our marital home, which has been on the market for 3 months as well. I miss her and the dogs every day and ask to see her often, but she says she isn't ready and will reach out when she's ready. Says she thinks about it constantly. More recently, when I asked her to apologize during an argument we had, she said, "I have nothing to apologize for. You ruined my life, my job, and any chance of ever being my friend again." Background. She cheated on me last spring with a coworker. I then revenge cheated. I told her affair partner's wife about the affair, which led to the affair partner and his wife reconciling. This pissed off my soon-to-be ex-wife and caused her to quit her job. She also reported her affair partner for tax fraud to her employer as an act of revenge. Her affair partner is now suing her for over $500,000. She was unemployed for about 6 months and had a hard time getting a job. We tried to reconcile for a few months this summer and then decided a divorce was the best option. I had a really hard time accepting this and harassed her for about a month before we just want no contact and are now separated. She clearly has convinced herself that I have made these decisions for her, which I have not. All of her actions have led to her being where she is today. I feel like she's experiencing lots of guilt and is trying to push that guilt onto me. Has anyone else seen this from their soon-to-be ex? Again, ask a question, you're gonna get an answer. GeoReddit 2018 says, "Let her go. She's not your problem anymore." Token or Token UPOS says, "What do you mean? I miss her and want to see her often. This is your chance to excise her from your life, and you still engage in petty arguments with her? Oh man, please stop." Yeah, I think these comments are right, OP. You have to let her go and move on. You're only hurting yourself. Go no contact. Focus on you. Update. Officially filed for divorce. Feeling bittersweet and conflicted. I just filed with the court after mediation. No kids, so it should be finalized pretty quickly. I had to get both of our physical signatures on the mediation documents before filing, so that involved us seeing each other in person yesterday. We've been separated for 6 months, but have texted off and on. Saw each other in person a couple times to exchange some assets. When I saw her, I asked if this is what she wanted. She said she didn't know, but she is sorry for her decisions and everything that led up to this. She also said that sometimes she gets really sad, misses her old life and everything, and that she knows she ruined all that affair, but she also knows that things weren't good and that she wasn't happy. She then asked me if this is what I wanted. I told her part of me feels like this is the right decision, and part of me thinks we need to give it more time. And I also said that I miss everything about her family, her and the 2 dogs. I said I still feel like her unhappiness and mine was not communicated properly, and we could have taken the proper steps to overcome that. I ended the conversation asking if she thinks we can connect again. She said she's not sure, as she needs more time. But here's the thing. I'm not willing to wait in purgatory for her to be healed, and I decided to take action. She signed, I signed, which led to filing today. I just have no idea what to do with this information she has given me, and of course, now we are officially filed. I don't know whether to try to keep her in my life or not. Do I just let her reach out if she wants to and go no contact? Having conflicted thoughts on how to proceed. The community has a comment for you. It comes from OK Breakfast 9531. There are couples who have reconciled years after divorce. It can happen. Sometimes it makes it more feasible as it becomes literally a new relationship. Who knows what the future will bring? It seems like she's just toying with you at this point, and you're really just torturing yourself. You won't truly get over her unless you allow yourself to take some space away from her. If you're constantly surrounded by her and talking to each other, then yeah, it will be nearly impossible to get over her. It's natural to miss your old life, but you weren't happy. She certainly wasn't happy. It seems like she was actually quite abusive towards you. I hope you're able to make some healthy decisions, especially for peace of mind and well-being. You don't need someone like that in your life. And I think deep down, you know that. What do you think? Thank you for joining us today on Our Space. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. We hate for you to miss out. If you want to listen to more stories from me, check out Our Lounge, where I feature a larger variety of non-cheating related stories. See you there.